Hey everyone, Craig Williams here, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to give you a tour around the studio. I had a couple of people say they were keen to see what I've got, so I don't really have too much, but for all you geeks out there, I'll show you what I've got. So this is my room. Not too much to it, but I'll show you what I've got anyway. So this is pretty much where I spend a majority of my time. We'll start over here. Got my trusty studio hand, slave driver. I've got a couple of guitars here. I've got a Gibson Les Paul Custom in Silverburst, a Music Man Stingray, and just a Martin acoustic. Always good to sort of, instead of just doing everything in computer, you can sort of have a bit of a go on some real instruments and see what you come up with. Got just a little cupboard which can also act as a vocal booth. You can see the little shield down there. Here's some tracks I got on the go and stuff like that, stuff I'm working on. And then onto the good stuff. So up here I've got a Prophet 08. It's not too bad. The only thing I don't like with it is the pots when you start changing these around. The numbers, like, see there, numbers sort of just go wherever they want. You got to sort of coach them to where you want them to go. I just need to go get the modification done to it, and then it should be all good to go. It's pretty good for lead and pad sounds. I don't really use it as much as I should. I'm thinking about selling it and maybe getting something else that I will probably utilize a bit more. Next up is the Juno that I've got. This has pretty much made its way onto just about every track that I've got. It's really good, sounds really good. Yeah, just use it to layer up basses. It's got really good pad sounds in it. If you can pick up one of those, if you're looking at getting like one good analog synth, I strongly suggest the 106. It has presets in it as well, but it's not hard to sort of get some good sounds that you really like out of it. Down on the next one, we've got the little Korg Monotribe, and I've got the MIDI modification, if I can just grab that. Just pretty ghetto, just hanging out the bottom of it. You can see that there. But it works really well. I really liked it, and for the amount of money, it's really good value. It's actually the main synth on a release I've got coming out on the 16th called Connect, and it's also on the B-side to that, Reconnect, so you can hear that and you can hear how beefy the sound is, and it's really good. Next up is, I just got a little Monotron. It's good fun to just have a play around and stuff like that. I use this with a track that Toby Silver and myself did called Honey Badger. It's in the breakdown. You hear a big rising synth. It's really good for that. This is a little Korg Electribe. I really only got it for the sequencer, but ended up a friend of mine come around, we worked on a track, and he's got one of these, and he showed me some of the sounds that it can make, so started sampling sounds out of that, and it's really good. Another one that most of you guys probably already seen is Machine. Got this last year. Really good. I use it just to start ideas. Also have the iMachine on my iPhone, and I can start ideas on that. Bring them onto here, make them a little bit bigger, and then start bouncing the stems out into Logic and going from there. And then got the last one we've got here is the Xoxbox, which is a remake of the 303. Really good fun synth to use, and I use it a fair bit. Don't really use the sequencer. I just tend to use the MIDI from the computer into this, and just write all my patterns in MIDI, and then just and then use the filters and everything like that, same as the 303. Monitors, I've got Eames They're really good. The only thing I need is to get a decent sub for them. I've kind of learnt how to mix without the sub, but I think it would make the writing process a little bit better and stuff like that. Next up, down here, we go on to the little rack that I've got. This one here is this is like the most used, not used, but the most valuable bit of gear. This holds a backup of all my sessions, so if anything happens, everything's on here, so it's doubled up and it's not in the computer or anything like that. It's all separate, and then obviously if there was a house fire, I'd just grab that. I don't use this too much. This is like the for Pro Tools. If I do a session, sometimes I'll use that, and obviously I don't have the new Pro Tools where you can use any sound card, so I just use that one, and it's good to go. This is my sound card that I got, just a Motu 828. Lots of ins and outs, which I kind of wanted, so that sound cards, I can't really hear too much going on. Obviously, most of the time I process the sound a fair bit as it goes into the computer. It just got a 8-in, 8-out MIDIs for all the synths and stuff. Next up I got a little Sans amp. I had to sell all my guitar amps and stuff like that when I moved to America, so that kind of just fills the void. Obviously it's not as good, but it's good for just getting down little ideas and stuff like that. Underneath that is a Novation drum station. It's got all the 808 and 909 sounds in it, and it's got, like, you can tune all the drums and everything like that. So that's what I've got on my SoundCloud. The kick drum from the 808, that's from this, and I use this in my tracks all the time. Underneath that we got a 3630 compressor and the MXR dual limited. They don't really get used too much. Sometimes I'll send stuff back out through them, but not really that often. Or I'll just put it on maybe on a vocal or something as it's going in, just to catch the peaks and stuff like that. And then obviously just got the patch bays. And then pedals, I've got just a couple of pedals, and then this is one that I've made. Go like that. A couple of pedals, and then this is one that I've made. It's just a distortion pedal. I'll go up, and I've got the console, which at the moment is pretty much just running as a preamp. So just got 16 channels. This is a Yamaha M1516. It's a really good sound, and I got it for fairly cheap. I only got it for $500, so for what it sounds like, it's really good. Bounce over here, and there's my tower. It's like whatever, and got a couple of mics and stuff like that, and then over just got a little percussion box. Got tambourine and a wood block and some other little bits and pieces in there. And then I run my sessions as dual monitors. So I've got something that I'm working on at the moment. So there you go. Up behind it, got a little poster that I managed to get when I won remix competition. I thought it was pretty cool. And that's about it. So hopefully you guys got something out of that. My dog again. And until next time, or if you want to see anything in more detail, or if you want to hear something, feel free to comment. And until next time, see you later.